God Element Apparel for faith-based clothing and accessories on the most important element not on the periodic table. Go to godelementapparel.com. Hey, do you know what time it is? Is it time for the revival of another classic TV series that's close to my heart? Yes. Yes, it is. But also, it's time for Animaniacs, and there's zany to the max. So just sit back and relax while Dave give you the facts on Animaniacs. Yes, they are back, and I can't wait to give you the TLDR on Yakko, Wacko, and the Warner sister Dot as we take a dive into the Animaniacs. What up, fam? Welcome to Toon Lore Done Right, a podcast where I take a moment to give you a quick history of a film, TV show character, or concept in animation. You can call me Dave, and I'm kind of a student of all things animation. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at ToonLoreDR and on Facebook at facebook.com/ToonLore. Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. If you do a review outside of the US or Hong Kong, please email me a screenshot at toonloredr@gmail.com so I can give you some sort of shout out. I'm so glad that I was able to record this episode before the craziness of moving back to America. Oh, so the move got hectic and I couldn't finish on time? Okay, well, it's a good thing that my transition back to Atlanta was super smooth and I could record right away. No? So the kids didn't adjust well to the 12-hour time difference and things got pushed back again? Oh, okay. 1.5 weeks in, now I can finally sit down and do this. That works? Really? Okay, cool. As always, I want to give a thank you to everyone who has been listening to and sharing the podcast. Not only have we passed 1,300 downloads since the Zim episode dropped, even in my brief absence, y'all have been active. At this moment, every episode has more than 100 downloads each, and we have passed 1,800 total downloads across all platforms. I think it's pretty safe to say that I have the best listeners from all around the world. I also want to read to you this 5-star review I received on Apple Podcasts. You can review the show on Apple Podcasts as well, and maybe I'll read your 5-star review too. This is from Ray Lolo, who says, "Great podcast. My friend and I just listened to your podcast. We love it a lot. For most of the episodes you've posted, I've already watched the series, but it's really cool to hear insiders and learn new things about the series. My favorite episodes so far are Kipo, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Hair Love. I just wanted to say that we really enjoy what you're doing, and we can't wait for the next episode." Well, thank you for the kind words, Ray Lolo. I've said it before and I will say it again. I believe that I have some of the best listeners from around the world. So to you and your friend, I hope you like what I have in store for you today. And to my other listeners, I'd love to hear from you as well. Leave a 5-star review for me and I'd be honored to read your responses. If you listen on Apple Podcasts outside of the US or Hong Kong, take a screenshot of your review and email it to me at toonloredr@gmail.com so that I can honor you too. At the end of last week's episode, I let you guys know that my family and I will be moving back to the US. At the time of this recording, I'm still adjusting to being back in the States, but I know that God will provide for us no matter where I am. With that in mind, I'll be taking a bit of a break so that I can focus on moving my family. So this will act as a sort of season finale for Toon Lore Done Right. After 13 episodes, y'all have been with me since I was recording on my Nokia 7.1 cell phone. We mourned Kobe together. You listened to me vent my frustrations about police brutality. We celebrated Black excellence with Hair Love, and now you'll be with me as I enter the next chapter of my life back here in America. I can truly say that I can't thank you guys enough for the support you've given me through the reviews and just listening to this labor of love of mine. Okay, enough with the mushy stuff. With all that being said, let's jump straight into it. Animaniacs is an American animated sitcom produced by Amblin Entertainment and Warner Bros. Animation. The show was the second animated series produced by the collaboration of Warner Bros. And Steven Spielberg during the animation renaissance of the early 1990s. The show aired from 1993 to 1998 in its original run and will start airing its revival on Hulu on November 20th of 2020. So, it's been roughly 27 years since the show last aired, which, if you listen to my last episode on Invader Zim, will know that it beats out Zim by 4 years. The revival will see the return of the main voice cast as well, but more on that later. Animaniacs was a collaboration between Element Entertainment, founded by Steven Spielberg, and Warner Bros. Animation. However, apart from this collaboration, the Warner Bros. Animation Studio has worked on a number of notable TV shows both during and since this collaboration. To name a few, their first show was Tiny Toons Adventures, banger. Then they went on to create, in no particular order, Freakazoid, Wayne Head, Superman the Animated Series, banger, Static Shock, banger, and check out episode 3 of TLDR for more info on Static. Then we have Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, bangers, Mucha Lucha, Shaolin Showdown, both Thundercats reboots, Green Eggs and Ham on Netflix, Batman the Animated Series, banger. Check out TLDR episode 7 to see how Batman is connected with gargoyles too. And finally, according to an article by Mark Berman from Forbes, there's reportedly an untitled Flintstones reboot in the works. That's not even to mention their feature film stuff like the Lego Movie. You'll also notice that a large amount of the WB animation I mentioned was DC superhero stuff. I know that Marvel rules the live action movie game, but when it comes to animated hits, WB is untouched. I mean, it's not even close. I did have some hope for Marvel Animation when they were acquired by Disney, but even then, with the exception of maybe Wolverine and the X-Men and The Ultimate Spider-Man, Marvel doesn't come close to DC's animated TV work. Now, I'm talking specifically in the animation department though. An argument can be made for story content on both sides, but animation-wise, it's not even a real race. With all of that in mind, certain segments of the Animaniacs show have been sent to a few other production companies like TMS Entertainment in Japan, Star Toons from Chicago, created by former Hanna-Barbera animator John McLennan, Wang Film in Taiwan, and ACOM from South Korea. With all of that in mind, no show is anything without good storytelling, and you can't have good storytelling without your writers. Animaniacs acted as a hub for other cartoon shorts in each episode, some of which you'll hear about a bit later. So the writers were able to breathe real life in the shows and their characters. Some of the people who have penned the show are Peter Hastings, who worked on shows like Kung Fu Panda, The Legends of Awesomeness, Tak and the Power of Juju, and Darkwing Duck. We also have Rusty Mills, who worked on many of the WB projects along with the Pink Panther. We have Rich Aarons, who has written on shows like Freakazoid, Dave the Barbarian, Space Jam, and Balto, to name a few. And finally, we have Sherry Stoner, known for Tiny Toon Adventures, Casper the Friendly Ghost, and a fun fact, served as a reference model for Ariel in the Little Mermaid movie, as well as Belle in Beauty and the Beast. The Disney animators even took some of her mannerisms and used them to inform the characters of Ariel and Belle. For example, Ariel often bites her lower lip, and Belle brushes her hair away from her face, which were adopted straight from Sherry. Neat, right? I also found that during the design process, the Warner siblings were originally supposed to be ducks named Wacky, Yacky, and Smacky, with Dot being the fourth sibling coming along later. That was changed because WB thought that there were already too many ducks on TV with Daffy, Plucky, Donald, Daisy, and the DuckTales crew.
Look at who you came to see. We them ducks, you better bow when we step on your street. We them ducks, you better. This ain't no Scrooge McDuck. This ain't no DuckTales. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, yeah, they can go to hell.
Well, anyway, since the creators didn't want them to be ducks, they were changed to be kind of mesh animals. They look a little bit like dogs with floppy ears, but then they also have whiskers like cats. Tom Ruger, a producer on the show, stated in an interview that their species is, quote, Cartoonas characteris. Now, on to the voice talent. Voiced by Rob Paulson, who is known for roles like Pinky from Pinky and the Brain, Sir Kirby from Doc McStuffins, Donatello from the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show on Nick, Ika from the VeggieTales franchise and Toodles from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Yakko is the oldest and tallest of the Warner siblings. He both literally and figuratively wears the pants in the group and acts as its leader. He is playfully arrogant but proves to be responsible at times. He is quite talkative and is known for saying, "Good night, everybody," whenever a joke leans a little bit more on the adult side.
Yakko, can you conjugate?
Who, me? I've never even kissed a girl.
No, it's easy. I'll conjugate with you.
Good night, everybody.
Wakko is the middle child of the family and wears a red baseball cap along with a blue turtleneck shirt. Voiced by Jess Harnell, known for roles like Ironhide in the Michael Bay Transformers movie, King Hector in Elena of Avalor, Chili on Doc McStuffins, Crash Bandicoot, and Cedric from Sophia the First, just to name a few. Wakko, despite being good-natured, is the least intelligent of the three and can pull objects out of his magic pocket as the plot calls for it.
Ooh, a giant Pez dispenser. Want one?
Please.
Lastly, we have Dot Warner, also known as Princess Angelina Contessa Luisa Francesca Banana Fana Bobesca III.
And I am Princess Angelina, Contessa Luisa Francesca Banana Fana Bobesca III.
She is also the youngest of the group. She wears her ears up using a yellow flower clip and wears a short pink skirt. She is adorable, highly intelligent, but can easily be triggered to anger. It can be said that she is highly or overly emotional, but I hesitate to put that label on her because being called overly emotional is a bit dismissive and is usually a label given to many women who speak their minds in a male-dominated industry or spaces. Such labels are rarely associated with men. Actually, in a 2017 study called A Large-Scale Analysis of Sex Differences in Facial Expressions, the researchers concluded that, quote, women expressed actions associated with anger less than men, but expressed actions associated with fear and sadness more than men. So, yeah, I just thought it was interesting that you should know that. Anyway, Dot is voiced by Tress MacNeille, who is known for Agnes Skinner in The Simpsons, Daisy Duck on many of the Disney shows, as the caretaker in Rick and Morty, Linda from Futurama, Arnold's grandma from Hey Arnold, Callie Briggs from SWAT Cats, Gadget and Chip from Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, and Charlotte Pickles in the original Rugrats and the upcoming 2021 reboot. What? Rugrats is coming back? I didn't even know. That is wild, son. Yep, y'all heard that right. Rugrats is slated to come back in 2021. Now, at the time of this recording, not many details are known about it yet, but I'm sure I'll talk about it more as we get closer to its release. This is yet another great TV classic coming back. But enough about Rugrats. I want to move on to giving you guys my experience with the original run of Animaniacs. I remember watching Animaniacs during its original run, and I remember really enjoying it. It was a show that was so meta before being meta was a common thing. It was also more than just one show. It had a host of new characters and situations every episode. Having so many skits and shorts made it feel more like a sketch comedy show than a traditional sitcom. The show pushed the boundaries for kids, but had enough slapstick humor to keep my child mind focused and enough adult humor to keep parents engaged. In my last episode on Invader Zim, I noted that Zim was rated 7+, but skewed older because of its occasional grotesque visuals. In contrast to that, Animaniacs is also rated 7+ and skews more adult, but due to its clever writing and visual gags, I'm actually pretty excited to let my kid watch the show along with me. Some of my favorite cartoons, skits, and shorts within Animaniacs are The Good Feathers, which is a Godfather parody with pigeons, Pinky and the Brain, Slappy the Squirrel, Chicken Boo, and the skits with Randy Beeman are hilariously random to me. At the time of this recording, we don't know what all characters will return for the reboot, but in the official sneak peek, we do get confirmations that Pinky and the Brain will return. In the same sneak peek, I'm also happy to see that the original voice actors return for their roles. The animation is unique in that the show can be gone for 27 years and come back with the same cast. It's kind of wild to me when animated shows like, for example, the Powerpuff Girls reboot, elect not to bring back beloved voice actors. Anyways, back to Animaniacs. I'm a little surprised that the show is coming to Hulu when Warner Media owns HBO Max. I can only assume that it has to do with the timing of the deal. Rumors of the show's return began in 2017 as Amazon, Netflix, and Hulu were bidding for it, so this may have been before the details of HBO Max were settled. We may never know the full story, but now that we have this portion of the show wrapping up, I want to take you guys to the hook shot. Now we've come to the portion of the show that I like to call the hook shot. This is where I watch the first 3 to 5 episodes of the show at hand, and if I'm hooked, I'll let you know if you should give it a shot. Think of it as a mini review, or at least that's what would normally happen. The move has made rewatching the show a bit difficult for me. The classic animation show should be on Hulu, so I'll likely be able to watch it as soon as I re-up on my subscription. However, the Nostalgia Critic on YouTube has his list of his top 11 episodes that cover pretty much all the bases. It is an additional 22-minute commitment if you want to dive in, but whether you watch his review or not, I highly recommend this show. If you have Hulu now, you should be able to give it a shot, and I'm super excited for the reboot happening in November. By then, I may be able to even watch it on my new Xbox Series X. I mean, I didn't get a pre-order yet, but one can still dream, right? Now, moving on, I want to take you guys to the part of the show that I like to call the black light. Here, I scour the farthest and darkest corners of the internet to showcase a piece of work or artist that has piqued my interest. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the God Element. I know you heard about them a bit at the top of the show, and you can follow them on Instagram at God Element Apparel. For those who have listened to my episode 6, We Don't All Black the Same, then you will know that I don't shy away from my faith. So with that in mind, I wanted to highlight this faith-based apparel company with a unique style. If you act now, you can catch the sale that will give you nearly 50% off your t-shirt purchase. Go to GodElementApparel.com for the details and follow their work on Instagram at the God Element Apparel. Now, before I let you go, I want to move on to the trivia. As always, the trivia will consist of one question that directly relates to the episode and one unrelated fan question. Remember, you can submit fan questions to me by emailing me at toonloredr@gmail.com. The first people who respond to the correct answer on my Twitter may get a shout out in the next episode. So here goes. Question 1. Which of these is Dot Warner's real first name? A. Princess Angelica Eliza Peggy Schuyler I. B. Princess Angel Consuela Lumela Francesca Banana Fana Foana II. C. Princess Angelina Contesta Luisa Francesca Banana Fana Bobeska III. Or D. Princess Angie Katara Kora Asami Suki Toph Beifong IV. Whew. That was a mouthful, so this time I'm not going to reread the question. If you guys really want to hear it again, you can just rewind it. That's the joy of podcasting. Now, question number 2. Which character has not been a guest hero on the show OKKO? A. Sonic the Hedgehog. B. Garnet. C. Captain Planet. Or D. Kid Muscle. This is a short question, so I'll repeat it. Which character has not been a guest hero on the show OKKO on Cartoon Network? A. Sonic the Hedgehog. B. Garnet. C. Captain Planet. Or D. Kid Muscle. This has been Toon Lore Done Right. And don't forget to like, share, review, comment, and subscribe. Just like Ray Lolo, you may be able to have your 5-star review read on the show. If you would like to submit a trivia question, please send an email to me at toonloredr@gmail.com with the subject line TLDR Trivia. Please give a multiple choice question and note the correct answer. Also, feel free to leave your Twitter or Instagram handles in your message so that I can give you a shout out for your question. You can make suggestions on future episodes by joining the Facebook page at facebook.com/toonlore or by letting me know what you think by following me on Instagram and on Twitter at ToonLoreDR. Now, to follow up on my announcement from last week, as I transition my family back to America, I will take a short break from releasing episodes. My main priority is to ensure that my family and I have a smooth transition back to the States. I am sad to have left Hong Kong, but Atlanta will bring new and exciting challenges and opportunities. I will still be active on social media, so feel free to interact with me there. And with this being my 13th episode, wow, can y'all believe that? 13 already? I feel like this is a good place to mark as the end of Season 1. Season 2 will start before you know it, with new music, in a new location, with new shows to review, and a whole new me. So, until the next time I can give you the TLDR on a film, TV show character, or concept in animation, it's been real.